There are creatures in myth that inspire awe, fear, and deep contemplation. Among them, the basilisk stands as one of the most enigmatic and terrifying, a serpent so potent that a single glance could turn the strongest warrior into lifeless stone. But what if this was more than a mere legend? What if the basilisk's deadly gaze concealed an ancient truth about power, perception, and the nature of reality itself? The story of the basilisk appears across civilizations, from medieval grimoires to secret alchemical texts, whispering of a force beyond mere physical destruction. This was never just a tale of a monstrous reptile lurking in the shadows. It was a coded message, a warning wrapped in myth, revealing the hidden dangers of unrestrained vision and unchecked consciousness. Today, we unravel the mystery behind the basilisk's gaze. We will journey through ancient texts, decode its esoteric significance, and uncover why this legend may be far more than just a metaphor. What did the ancients truly mean when they spoke of a gaze that could kill? And more importantly, how does this knowledge affect you right now, in this very moment? Stay with me as we unlock a forgotten key of mystical wisdom, one that has been obscured by time and perhaps deliberately hidden from those not ready to see. The legend of the basilisk did not arise from mere superstition. It is a creature that has slithered through the annals of ancient wisdom, its origins stretching across different civilizations, each leaving behind cryptic clues about its true nature. To understand the deeper meaning of the basilisk's gaze, we must first journey back to the earliest whispers of its existence. One of the oldest recorded mentions comes from Pliny the Elder, the Roman naturalist who described the basilisk in his Natural History as a serpent so lethal that it could scorch the earth with its breath and kill with a single look. But Pliny was not merely recounting a terrifying beast. He was encoding a truth that thinkers of his time dared not say outright, that perception itself wields immense power. Medieval alchemists and occultists took this legend further, seeing in the basilisk an allegory for the dangers of forbidden knowledge. In secret texts, they spoke of the oculus mortis, the eye of death, a gaze so potent that it could destroy those unprepared to receive its vision. Some whispered that the basilisk's stare was not its own weapon, but a reflection of the observer's deepest fears, magnified and turned against them. The myth found its way into Christian symbolism, where the basilisk became a metaphor for sin and the corruption of the soul. In medieval bestiaries, it was said that only the pure-hearted, often symbolized by the rooster or the weasel, could defeat the beast. Why? Because those who are spiritually unshaken, who do not succumb to fear or deception, are immune to the power of the basilisk's gaze. But the true depth of this myth goes beyond religion or legend. Esoteric traditions, from the Hermetic schools to Eastern philosophies, have long warned of the dangers of seeing beyond what one is ready for. In Tibetan Buddhism, the concept of the tulpas, thought forms so vivid they take on a life of their own, echoes the basilisk's lesson that the mind, when left unchecked, has the power to create both miracles and monsters. Could it be that the basilisk is not a physical creature at all, but a representation of a force hidden within our own consciousness, a force so powerful that if misused or misunderstood, could consume us completely? We are about to enter the true heart of the mystery. The next step is to decode what the basilisk's gaze really means. not just as a myth, but as a force that influences our perception, our fears, and our reality itself. The basilisk's deadly gaze is more than just a myth. It is an esoteric symbol, a warning, and a key to understanding the hidden forces that shape reality. But to grasp its true meaning, we must step beyond folklore and venture into the nature of perception itself. In the realm of mysticism, the eyes are not mere organs of sight, they are conduits of power. Many ancient traditions describe the eyes as windows to the soul, capable of both receiving and projecting energy. The evil eye curse, feared across cultures, suggests that a gaze alone can carry intention, be it malevolent or divine. But if ordinary sight can influence reality, what does the basilisk's gaze represent? Imagine for a moment that reality is not as solid as it seems. Quantum physics has already revealed that observation affects the state of subatomic particles, a concept eerily similar to the idea that the basilisk's stare alters and ends life itself. In Hermetic thought, this ties into the principle of mentalism. The universe is mental in nature. All is mind. If perception shapes existence, then the basilisk is the ultimate manifestation of destructive awareness. The act of seeing something so unbearable, so raw, that it collapses into oblivion. But what exactly does the basilisk show us? The answer lies in a terrifying paradox. It does not reveal anything external. Instead, it forces the observer to confront their own mind. The gaze of the basilisk is nothing more than a reflection, a mirror of the deepest, most hidden fears within the one who dares to look. This is why legends say the basilisk kills with sight alone. It does not attack, it does not chase, it simply is. And those who fall before it are not struck down by an external force, but by their own inability to withstand the truths it reflects. The basilisk's power is the same force that mystics and shamans throughout history have warned about: the dangers of premature enlightenment. Many spiritual traditions speak of the risks of looking into the abyss before one is ready. In the Kabbalistic teachings of the Tree of Life, there exists Da'at, the hidden Sephira, a gateway to knowledge so profound that it can shatter the unprepared mind. In Hindu mysticism, the opening of the third eye is both a blessing and a curse. If done too soon, it overwhelms the seeker, leading to insanity rather than wisdom. And so, the basilisk is not a beast to be fought, but a trial to be understood. It is the shadow of human consciousness, the embodiment of suppressed knowledge and unacknowledged fears. Those who meet its gaze unprepared are consumed, not because they are weak, but because they have not yet mastered the art of perceiving without fear. But is there a way to survive the basilisk's gaze? Can one learn to see without being destroyed? The answer lies in the next phase of our journey, where we uncover the hidden methods to confront this force and the profound secret that turns the basilisk's deadly gaze into a source of immense power. If the basilisk's gaze is a reflection of the observer's deepest fears, then to survive it, one must master the art of seeing without illusion. But how does one achieve this? How does one stand before the abyss without being consumed by it? In ancient mysticism, there are two fundamental paths to dealing with overwhelming truth: averting the gaze or transmuting the fear. Legends say that the only way to defeat the basilisk is to hold up a mirror, forcing it to see itself. At first glance, this seems like a mere trick, a clever way to turn the creature's power back upon itself. But symbolically, the mirror represents something deeper, self-awareness. The true reason the basilisk dies upon seeing itself is that it, too, is a creation of the mind. Its power is drawn from the fears of those who look upon it. In alchemical and psychological terms, this is the process of shadow work, the act of confronting one's hidden fears and integrating them rather than being controlled by them. Carl Jung, the father of analytical psychology, spoke of the shadow self, the unconscious aspects of our psyche that we suppress out of fear, guilt, or societal conditioning. He warned that if we fail to acknowledge our shadow, it will eventually control us. In this sense, the basilisk is the externalization of the shadow, given form by those who refuse to look inward. To hold up a mirror to the basilisk is to recognize that its terrifying gaze is nothing more than a projection of our own mind. It is not an external force seeking to destroy us. It is an invitation to see what already exists within us, and once seen clearly, it loses its power. However, not all traditions speak of avoiding or reflecting the basilisk's gaze. Some instead teach that one can endure it, and in doing so, unlock hidden power. In Greek mythology, Medusa's petrifying gaze is eerily similar to that of the basilisk. Yet, in certain mystical traditions, the act of confronting Medusa's stare directly, without fear, leads to transformation rather than destruction. Some esoteric teachings claim that the ability to withstand this gaze marks the transition from lower to higher consciousness. In Tantric Buddhism, advanced practitioners meditate upon terrifying deities, not as external beings, but as representations of their own mind. By staring into the face of fear without flinching, they transcend it. In the ancient Greek Eleusinian mysteries, initiates underwent profound rites that simulated death itself, forcing them to confront the ultimate fear, only to emerge reborn, transformed by the experience. If fear is the force that turns the basilisk's gaze into a death sentence, then the removal of fear is what allows one to see it without perishing. In other words, the enlightened mind, free from illusions, no longer sees the basilisk as a threat. Instead, it recognizes the gaze for what it truly is, a test of perception, a gatekeeper of wisdom. Many who delve into occult and esoteric traditions find that certain knowledge is hidden, not because it is deliberately kept secret, but because the unprepared mind simply cannot perceive it. This is the essence of the basilisk's role. It is said that in the heart of ancient libraries and hidden mystery schools, knowledge was protected not by physical locks, but by psychological and spiritual barriers. The basilisk represents this principle. Only those who have mastered their inner selves may pass beyond its gaze unscathed. In Dante's Inferno, the poet describes souls who, upon seeing divine truth, are driven mad or turned to stone by the sheer weight of revelation. This echoes the legend of the basilisk. Those who cannot withstand the vision are destroyed, not by the creature, but by their own inability to comprehend what they are seeing. Thus, the basilisk is not merely a monster, it is a guardian. It ensures that only those who are truly prepared may access the deeper mysteries of existence. It is not there to kill, but to test. So, the question remains, when you face the basilisk's gaze, will you turn to stone? Or will you master the art of seeing and claim the power hidden within the abyss?